Hi, Ann.
Hi.
Tell me a little bit about your Women's Talk Live radio program.
Okay, it's Woman Talk
A
Live.
Woman Talk Live.
Woman
Thank
Talk
you.
Live, and it's co-hosted by myself, Ann Quasman, and Jenny Robertson. And we've been doing it it'll be 2 years in February. We come on every Saturday night on Talk Radio 680 WCBM from 6 to 7 p.m. And the real purpose of the show is to give an audience to women to talk about the things that we think are important to women. So it could be funny stuff, it could be serious stuff, it could be stuff that we think they need to know and stuff we're interested in. And it actually, when we first started, we were invited to guest host once a month on another show on the sister station. And the person that was kind enough to bring us in decided to take a long commercial break after he'd been on the radio for 10 years. And we just decided it was time for us to do our own show.
How's it working out in the new place?
We love it. We absolutely love it. Saturday night's a great night for us because after we don't have any rush hour traffic getting to the
How
studio.
did you get the idea for something like this?
Well, we listened to what was on talk radio everywhere, and there aren't a whole lot of shows that are focused on women, probably like zero. And most shows, talk radio shows, are geared towards politics, and so you'll hear the same thing on lots and lots of shows. And we wanted to do something different, and we felt like it gave us an opportunity to really talk to people we've been wanting to talk to. I think what happens is that women are used to working together and solving problems.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's why places like Spiral Dance Women's Studio, or another organization that we had on was the Light of Truth Center, which is a recovery center for women here in Baltimore.
Oh, right. I saw that also.
And, women just have a special way of coming together and making things happen.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school?
Oh my gosh, I grew up in Southside, Virginia, in the middle of tobacco country, in a town of 2,000 people. That nobody's ever heard of, and so when people say, "Where did you get that accent?" Well, that's where I got it from.
You could be from South Baltimore, though.
I could?
You could, with that kind of accent, seriously.
Oh, wow.
So you fit kind of right in.
Okay. Went to James Madison University in Virginia, and then after I graduated from there, ended up in Texas for about...
What did you major in?
Well, I actually majored in education, and actually, taught for a couple of years, and then sort of graduated over to, or got pulled into the financial industry and stayed there for almost 20 years.
How did you meet your co-host?
Well, we met at about 12 years ago at a networking event for women, and we actually
Which one was that?
It was the old Executive Women's Network. I mean, it was like 110 years ago. No, it was 12 years ago. And I didn't know anybody in Baltimore. I had just recently moved to Baltimore, and we just ended up sitting next to each other. And to tell you the truth, everybody else at the table was pretty boring, and Jenny and I, for some reason, hit it off. Maybe it was we both had red hair, we both had Southern accents. She's from West Virginia, I'm from Virginia. We understood each other.
What about the sponsors of the show? I noticed that sometimes they're the guests.
They are, and actually, when we went out and we wanted to have sponsors, we picked the people we wanted to be as sponsors, and luckily they agreed that they should be sponsors. And
these were people that you probably would want to interview anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And we wanted to have what we call Woman Talk Live experts. And so we have a Woman Talk Live health expert, a Woman Talk Live fitness expert, relationship expert, and beauty expert. And so they come on to, just sort of keep us in tow and let us know what we need to be doing. Well, one of the biggest things that we do are we want to support things that are important to women and we think are important. And we started about a year ago something called Girls Gone Great, because we were sick and tired of hearing about Britney Spears and Lindsay Lohan and everybody just, not behaving themselves really well. And so we started this contest. It's a scholarship essay contest for young women that are juniors and seniors in high school. And it is to see how they're making a difference in the community and what they see as a way to make a difference in the world. And so last year was our first year, and we honored a young lady from Rosedale, Jessica Cottrell, who is now a freshman at Micah. And when you read what she did, her essay is up there on the website. She has done more volunteer work and work from the heart than most adults have even thought about doing. And she's, 18 years old.
And this is a way to empower girls like her to do more.
Absolutely, and to also recognize that there are young women out there that are making a difference.
And what about your service for the women who are in the service?
We have a program called Women Who Serve, and a lot of times you'll see that people start collecting things for service people right around holidays. Thanksgiving and the Christmas holidays or whatever. We want to send packages over. Well, we want to do it all the time, and we want to do it to women in the military because we know that they probably don't have access to all the niceties.
What would be some of the top things that people should be thinking about for the holidays for women who are in the military service?
Well, I think it's just any time. And so the first thing they say they want are letters from home. And they want letters from home, and they want newspapers, on the frivolous stuff, not on the news they hear about all the time, but on like the style sections and the sports pages and so
new movies that are out.
Anything that's entertainment and more information rather than hardcore news. That's what they're looking for, and then all of the personal items that women like to have.
Makeup,
but
Tampax.
Big time. Tampax, big time. Those little light things you do, like baby wipes.
Right.
Baggies. I mean, anything to keep sand out of what they have, they're looking for. So we have a whole list on our website.
Oh, so could you give us the website URL?
Absolutely. It's www.womantalklive.com.
And what time on Saturdays again?
6 to 7 p.m. on Saturdays.
On station 680 WCBM.
Right. And if they are out of the listening area, they can go to WCBM.com, hit the Listen Live button, and then they can listen live via their computer.
So there's really no excuse not to listen to your program.
And plus our podcast are up there on the Woman Talk Live site.
Now, one more thing I wanted to find out really about the show, and tell me if I'm getting a little too personal here, but is there room for men in the program? Do you hear from men who sometimes bash the show as the anti-man show?
It's not an anti-man show. In fact, we love men. We love men.
I love men.
And in fact, probably about, I would say 40% of our callers are men.
Oh.
And so we think smart men listen. And also what's important to women and how women are thinking about things. We think the topics that we cover are interesting to men. I do workshops. My company is called Living in Your Heart. And I do workshops primarily for women, although I do some workshops for men. And when you mentioned acupuncture, what I do is a technique called emotional freedom technique.
The EFT.
EFT, which is needleless acupuncture. And what it does is it's to help people dissolve the blocks that are either emotional or energetic, that are showing up on an emotional basis or a physical basis. And it's an incredible self-care tool that anybody can use. And once they learn it, it's theirs. And it's a tool that changed my life.
Well, it sounds fascinating, and I hope that people will check into it and tune into the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.